Senator Scott.
All right. Thank you, Chairman. So, General, congratulations. You've got the right background. I think you're going to do a great job. I always like to see business guys succeed, so that's fun. This is all doable. I mean, you look at where we are. We've got Communist China's building military to defeat us. We've got allies that have not invested like they should have. We've got Iran, which appears to have enough money now to continue to support the Houthis, Hamas, Hezbollah. We've got China all over Latin America. I mean, what we have to do to defend the freedom of this country and try to do our best to police a world is this actually doable? Are you optimistic or are you pessimistic?
Senator, I'm always an optimistic leader.
And why do you believe that we can do it?
There's a lot of reasons, but the power of the American spirit is what leaps out to me right off the bat. There's very few things that we set our mind to that we can't achieve. And despite some of the very serious challenges in front of us, we've always rogered up to those challenges.
Do you think the budget that we're going to be able to provide is going to allow you to be able to do the things you need to do?
Well, Senator, I won't get in front of the president or OMB on what budget markers they set. What I will confirm to you and commit to you is that whatever capital we're given, we'll make the best out of it.
Yeah. So in Florida, we have 20 military bases and 3 unified commands. One is Homestead. We talked about this a little bit. It's not that far from Cuba. It's just Homestead's a little bit north of Key West, and it hasn't had a dedicated flying mission in a while. It seems like it would be an important base. Do you see a future for Homestead? And do you think it ought to have a flying mission?
Well, Senator, I won't get out in front of the service, but if confirmed, I'll definitely talk to the Air Force Reserve Command and the Air Force to see what they're thinking around flying mission at Homestead. The history of that unit and that base is exemplary. They were with us in the Scud Hunt. A small component of them were there with us back in 2003, and I've got deep appreciation for the culture and history of that unit.
This is the first time I have the opportunity to be the chairman of the subcommittee on sea power, and as you know, we have not been able to build ships, maintain ships, keep ships ready. How do you think that's going to change?
Well, I think it's a significant challenge for us, and we've got to up our game. I'm encouraged by the SECNAV's focus on this, and we've got to get to our congressionally mandated number of 355 ships as soon as possible, which includes our ability to sustain them and repair them around the world, and we've got real limits right now.
According to the Navy, they provide the combatant commanders with 40% of their requirements. Didn't make much sense. In business, if one division they need to deliver 40% of its work, we base the budget on the requirements needed. Do you think there's a different way we ought to be allocating resources?
Senator, I'm sorry, could you repeat the question again?
The combatant commanders, they're only getting a portion of what they're asking. Is there a better way to allocate the resources?
Well, Senator, I appreciate the question. The challenge is that we have to globally integrate all the combatant commands, and there's never a loss for tension between the COCOMs. What I trust is that the Joint Staff and the Joint Chiefs are looking carefully and thoughtfully considering where that balance is, and then passing those options to the Secretary for him to decide on where that allocation may be. Until we have such capacity that there's no need to do that, I think we're going to continue to balance those capabilities and capacities across all the COCOMs.
So my final question is, what drives you? Why do you want to do this? And let's say you did this for 4 years, what would your goal be at the end of those 4 years that you said, we got this accomplished?
Well, Senator, doing my part to make sure that we have a safe and prosperous United States of America, that the military element of power has delivered the deterrence capability that we needed to, and we've taken care of our families and our force along the way.
Thank you. You'll do a great job.
Thank you, Senator.